Yeah, on that whole David and Jonathan bit. One of the key verses they like to emphasize is the verse where it says that when it said the love that David and Jonathan had was more than the love of woman. And they infer from that there must have been a homosexual relationship between David and Jonathan, because it said that their love was more than the love of woman. And what they don't understand is the Hebraic idiom. They think that means homosexual. You understand that? They think that means that they were gay, because the love that Jonathan and David had was it excelled or superseded. It was more. Basically, what it means in simple English, it was more than the love of woman, right? Now, what's interesting about it is that the homosexual agenda is very intellectual and very informed, because they come from all sort of people, so they're out there. They're out there basically, looking for some justification, some sort of moral justification in some sense. They're looking for some sort of moral justification in some sense to basically say that, hey, it's all right, the Bible is contradicting itself, because look, Jonathan and David were gay because the love they had one for the other was more than the love of woman. And they are misinterpreting the Hebrew idiom that this means that the love they had was like the love that a man has for a woman. No, there's a big difference there. See, what you have to understand is the context of the Hebrew and the ancient peoples and ancient cultures is that a man, and we're saying not just a real man, but a man in those communities and societies, in our ancient communities and society, their love for their wife was a special love. It wasn't like nowadays everything is viewed really as sexual, in the sense sex becomes like a kind of this taboo kind of thing that everybody want to talk about and deal with, but we can't deal with in proper society. So there's this schizophrenic personality that develops around sex, that if Jonathan and David wanted to be gay, they could have been gay, and if that was so, it would be basically put out in the scripture. It could be there because there's a lot of other things that are in the scriptures if you look at it. There's where a lot of other things that are in the scriptures. They just didn't run around hating their woman and hating their wife. Their wife was a part of their family, was like the misseso, the center post in their house. And you can look in there and see a sexual metaphor if you want to, but then you're missing the heartical point of it. There's a heartical point. It's like when we as brethren, I love this brethren, I have love of certain brethren more than the love of women in general. I have love of certain brethren, and me and those brethren have never engaged in any homosexual activities. You see what I'm saying? So people say, well, how can that be? Remember, it's using the word woman. You see what I'm saying? It's using the word woman in a general sense, because men love woman. Now, when a man loves a man more than the love of woman, what does it mean in a Hebrew? Better yet, make me say it so you can understand it. What does it mean in black people's way of talking? Because you won't understand the Bible if you don't look at the Bible as a black book. And this is why the Bible has been so misconstrued, because they want to look at it like it's part of their history and heritage as white folks, and it's really not. It speaks about them here and there, but it's really not about white people. In fact, it speaks about them more towards the later part of the book, like in the Judgments, than it really does in the earlier part of the books. When we speak about the serpent and everything, we're going beyond. We're on a metaphysical level. We're on a spiritual level. It's beyond black and white. In fact, in the early parts of the book, it was black. You understand? So it was even a higher level of spirituality for one to detect a nachash, a reptilian. You had to look at nature. People were wise then. But in a black idiom, if I say that this brethren, my love for this brethren is more than a love of, I have more love for this brethren than a love of gal. What does that mean? In a black idiom, does it mean me and the man we buggering or something like that? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It basically means I would not betray this nigga for pussy. I'm not gonna, pussy can't come between me and this nigga. You understand?